Okay, so we got cleaned up a little bit. We're gonna sweep into something else, but after building like my divider panel that I wanted a small divider here to break up this and give me something to start my cabinets with, I'm making a template now for the cabinet sides. And I'm gonna do the first set just right over in my kitchen area. Like I say, nothing is level, so you always, I use square. I know this is square with the floor, and this is when I go with it, and everything is square, so then all I do is take my framing square, put it up, and find out where I want the face of the cabinet, or at least the rough, because I can always stack it out with inch, or 3/4, or even another piece if I wanted to come out more, but trying to get it close, so I just have to put a piece of 3/4 face frame. And so I decided that I want this bottom cabinet 9 inches, or 8 3/4, or 8 1/2, whatever. That's a good depth on there. So I made this line first, and then I decided that since I'm this tall, I can kick out my cabinets higher at the top to give myself a little more depth. I got a lot of stuff. I'm a stuff staver. So then all I did was to find the bottom to make it constant here, and use a square here, make that line across, and then find out where I want this, and use a square here to make the bottom of my upper cabinet, and then of course just go ahead and finish it out this way. You could just measure down and make another line, but I just did it like this. You could always, and so there is my cabinets. Down here, which will be a little bit more, but I won't hit my head like cooking. I may raise it up, but I can always cut it shorter and add on, but it's hard once it's too short. It's kind of a bummer, especially on this side. So I'm hoping that this will fit over here in this area, because if my bottom piece that's going to come out this far is going to be the stackables for everything. So just got to, again, measure from my top to this and shim this, whatever I got to do to make it right, secure it down. Then I got a good base, so I'm going to make one of these for here, and then I'll figure out the other one here that's going to break with the edge of this, and that'll be the first set of cabinets. And we'll see how all that goes. But I like the idea that kicking the top ones out a little bit. It's not going to be in the way of anything, because I'm here, and you can always use space. I mean, the floor space is what I have, and so I'm not going to take any of that away. But the upper space is there. So once this section of cabinets done, I'll be able to figure out over my work area, and then over this area, and then the seat area over here. You can't see. Well, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, but. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to use here. I want to use 1/2 inch, but I don't think I have any. I think all I got is 3/4. And I try and, I don't need it, I don't think, for this little cabinet. So I may run over to Lowe's and get a 4x4 sheet of 1/2 inch mahogany grade, which is just ridiculous. But it's raining, and I don't want to take the truck, and it gets wet, and isn't that for these two sides? I mean, it's expensive. So I may have using a 3/4 because it's free. Came out of the jar. Anyway, but we'll see how that goes. But I just don't feel like working on the solar until the rain stops. I can have it outside for some reason. It just want to make sure those windows don't leak. And you know, I was all antsy, but figured out how I wanted to put the shower curtain in. And so this is why I'm working over here. This area needs to be done. This is my shower. And the curtain's going up, and it is just big enough for me. If you're 5'7", you will be, or 5'8", you will be squatting down. And I probably will a little bit too. But toilet, shower, storage is all there. Because if I take showers every other day or every 3 days, it matters what I'm traveling, what I'm doing. Or if I don't have access to a campground shower, then, you know, pulling this stuff out and putting it over here, what's the big deal? It's van life. It's, you know, you're roughing it. Like I said, I just don't like the idea of having to shower outside. And again, I think it's a little more female friendly if that ever develops. Okay, running out of battery, but we'll see if we can get it. So here we go. I got my piece in, and I decided I don't want to return here. If I do, I'll do it later, and I want to make this cabinet from here to here. So I'm making my bottom shelf, and of course, this is all out of cattywampus. This is too low, so we got to make it kind of right. So first I had to notch out to get rid of the hump. And then you got to check. Just remember, square. You can measure with tape, but we'll just. That's the bottom of the shelf there, and edge out. Come over here. Oh, look at that. And look at that. I mean, that is good. So now we know. So we got to shim this side up, blah, 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 get all that. It's the same distance out, same distance up. I like it. That was angled cut because, of course, everything is nothing square unless you make it square. But so far, so good. We're going to try to get this in, and then this piece. Now we know where the bottom goes and up. We'll use the pattern again, and then see where we're at. Okay, so now we got the other panel up. The top varies quite a bit, and it's hard to get everything tight, but we'll bury it up. But here is the interior, and I'll put the bottom shelf in later after I put the insulation in and all that. I'm going to put my wood strips around here to lock this in, to lock. I'm going to put the wood strips around here to lock this in. Saying it twice and going, but ton of work, but I'm pretty happy with that. And now I gotta go back over here and figure out the rain curtain and the waterproof cabinet here, or whatever I'm gonna do there, because there's gonna be water, and figure out how I'm gonna get the shower pan sealed, and then next it's going to be this cabinet. It's going to be a little bit different because this is the workstation. Ta-da! Okay, so early morning. I'm going to come out and try to finish this cabinet base. We got in, and then now we had to redo the pattern for the last one. It was quite a bit different, but you can see it took quite a bit of work to get this stuff lined up with all the different heights and dimensions, like working on a boat. Things are within pretty good tolerance. You know, there's an 1/8 inch. There'll be a little shim when I put the face frame. But, you using a solid straight edge clamped together. Okay, so I already showed that last one. I got that figured out. That came out good. I've decided to finish this area totally insulation, shelf, ceiling, all my thing, figure out to give me an idea how to go about the rest of it. Because I'm going to do that side and figure out how this is going to end, this goofy edge and everything there, and then I'll have a little bit better idea about that with the insulation, how this is going to go. But yep, I'm going to try to finish this whole little shower, plumbing, the whole little area right here. Okay, so here I had a couple day break. Had to do some work at the shop and get ready to take a trip to Vegas. But anyway, so we got the insulation in, and it's 3/4 because that's the strips that they had put down there. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but when I got this built, I had them add the 1/2-inch plywood to the top and the 3/4 sticks to the sides just for this mounting situation. Yeah, it was expensive, but you know, it was way worth it. Fiberine in Montebello, California. I've seen a lot of their tops around. They're absolutely the best. Gonzalo, who's the owner of the company, is a straight up guy, and great work. But anyway, so put the insulation, and I just did it all while I was doing it over here, and then bracketed it up, and then now I'm going to add the paneling. Ta-da! It's kind of funny. Put it up and go from there. And like I said, I'm going to finish out this shower area, everything to it. And this is kind of my prototype, let's say, for the rest of the roof. I'm going to try to do some time lapse here. And like I see the other guys on YouTube and do it, but still learning the GoPro. I have, that's all I'm doing. That's all I'm taking to Vegas. I'm leaving all my other camera equipment there. I'm going to do a few things at the shop out there, do a few things for a personal friend, and blah, 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 and just do the GoPro thing. Learn this little machine. It does quite a bit. And I'm brand new to it all, so it's a little bit of a learning curve like everything I do. But found out that the silver tape is a great way to stick stuff. I have plenty of rolls of that instead of gluing it with caulking like I did on this down on the lower section. But anyway, we are going to finish this out a little step at a time and keep you updated. Well, it have been a couple weeks since I worked on the van. The rain's been heavy in Southern California, and now they're cleared up quite a bit, and it's winter like no other place in the country probably. Kind of nice, but we're back at the van. I decided I need to get the solar finally handled. The panels are up. The main components are in, but nothing is charging or working. So I'm going to get the solar down with the rooftop pass through and hook them together, find this, try to get everything hooked up, put my blocks in, my other switch. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to do. I called Inverters R Us and asked them about my number 8 wire going over to my sub panel or my panel, and he said that was plenty. This number 6 was overkill, he said, in that shorter length and for what I have. So a little bit of waste of money, but that number 6 will just go in the box and, you know, help somebody else out. So yeah, so cables like this today, connect the batteries, do this, do the switches. That's my goal. And when I get tired of doing that, because my attention span wanders, I'm gonna come in and try to get glued up all my cleats on the ceiling so I can again go back to finishing this one little above section, or just get ready for it. And then I guess my ultimate goal would be to get everything working. This the propane, the water system, the drainage system, like you can tell, it's, yeah, a lot of work. These are a lot of work. And like I say, I'm trying to do it on as big as budget as I can because I am officially retired as of a couple days ago. And so it's time to start learning how to conserve my cash and do what I need to do to make life comfortable as possible for as long as possible. Because I'm still not going to collect my Social Security until I get full benefits, which will be another year and a month. It's worth the wait. But anyway, so here we go. I'll try to take some good video. It's going to get better as time goes along. I've learned a little bit more about the GoPro. Pretty cool. I'll show you the book that I'm using and the YouTube channel. The guy is pretty... I mean, some things are in there, like in any instructions, I think you know a little bit. And you do. But sometimes you got to get an answer to what you're reading before you can read on, if that makes any sense. But here we go. Let's take a look and see how much the oil pan's leaking. Not too bad. I was a half a quart low in 1,000 miles. Ooh, I gotta see if that plug-in works for the block heater. And but it does. The oil pan leaks. You can tell my guys that did the work in Vegas for all my oils and stuff, they resealed all my pans. I like those guys. I would have had them fix the oil leak, but they said the engine needs to be taken out, and $3,000. And he says, you know, just let it leak, but only until I get it done. I'm gonna have to figure out. There's stuff on YouTube that says, oh, you can do it without this, blah blah blah. But then I've heard it's, you know, if it makes it, it might make it worse. But it's going to definitely have to be fixed, but that'll be after the steering box that's leaking too. So, didn't know when I bought it that the old drum brakes, I didn't look. I was excited to get it, but people that care about me wanted to say I should put disc brakes on it, so I'm going to look into that. And just in the front, or live with it. I'm not a speed demon, and you know, 65 is all I want to do, to be perfectly honest. I want to take my time in this part of my life, and so slowing down driving is going to be part of it. What else have I got going on here? I mean, it just piles up on what you have to do. Oh, better order that. Or was I going to get LEDs for both and wait? I don't remember what I'm going to do. And none of these dents bothered me. And now this one's bothering me. As you put a little love into your project, you start wanting to make it a little bit nicer. But the window seal worked. That repair was a bear. I still got a little bit of cleanup, but still I have this that I'm having a hard time finding the part numbers that I read online. I just don't know the part number. I'm going to have to go to the Ford dealer with my van and see if he'll help me find the part number. If they're, you know, sometimes they're cooperative, sometimes they're not. I may go to the dealer that worked for the company I was working for. I got a good relationship with them. They're a GM, but they might have access to that parts catalog too, and they do a deep dive for me. Anyway, I'm going to work a little bit on getting ready to do this. Drill a few holes, run a few wires, and shoot a little video. More later. Okay, first things first. Where are we going to put this? Maybe you can't see, but in this corner over here, I had these wrapped up. I was worried about the rain shorting things out or something, but these are kind of bulletproof. I mean, they'll only go one way. And this one is labeled here, and it is labeled negative. So I guess the male in always is going to be negative, and the female in is always going to be positive. So right there is the little mark. So I mean, I don't want to think about too much, so I'm glad they make them like that, because I'm always a little bit paranoid that I'm going to hook up something backwards and blow up this system that I have, or a component of it, and just skyrocket the cost. So this is good, and I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do, how to hook them up. I think I'm gonna have them go over that bar the way they are. Reach in there and zip tie. That's why I want to leave room to work. And then run them. Do I want to run this way, or do I want to run this way, or this way? This way I want it. And it's waterproof, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. And then down this corner, I was going to put it in the middle, but I don't see why. So I'm going to figure out my best attachment right now. Probably going to be zip ties, but we'll see what I can do. So, planning ahead as much as possible, and it's not possible a lot of times when building your van, and you're going to go backwards and you're going to go forwards, but to get my penetration and my waterproof, whatever you want to call it right now, turned out to be, a lot of work, because it's underneath here, and I only have so much clearance. So this little doodad on the drill, which is a right angle. I believe DeWalt sells that, or Milwaukee, they'll all do that. And it has a shaft, it has a flexible shaft and all that. And then these stubby drill bits, because they are, I'm learning the one-handed YouTube thing. Have the little clip in. They don't take regular drill bits. It's not a chuck. So these are invaluable. And this is what they give you. Good enough for a good selection, actually, for stubbies. I don't know how long they'll stay sharp and do it, but, you can use your drill doctor to resharpen them, sure, but right now they seem pretty good. But I couldn't have did it without it. It would take a lot longer. But, more later. Normally, I put everything away at the end of the day, but I didn't. I don't know why I threw these blankets on there, but it turned out to be a good thing. A little bit more, so here's something. A delete. Oh, look at that. Barely any rain. So, I'd hate to ruin tools because I was lazy, but it has happened. So here's a little what happened. yesterday. So I ended up getting in the solar wires, re-drilling a hole to go through the bottom, you know, and that was cool. I'm glad I'm getting that done. Got them run down, geared over, and then everything started getting in the way. I'm gonna change that ISO setting. Let's turn on the light and see what happens. Oh, look at that. That's cool. So I added the switch, the shunt, re-drilled it, turned it sideways, and I've run out of room to run out. And I really didn't like the way I did from the inverter to my power supply. I mean, it was good. The guy okayed it with that, but I was going to put furls again on the hook up here, and it just wasn't. So I ripped it out. That's what this was all about. Just ripped it out, and when I get the furl crimper, I'll rerun it. But I decided to take the batteries out of there and run some wires behind the battery and up to the solar controller and to this. Put bump stops on my plywood wall and not the foam. And, you know, it gave me that so I have more room to hook up the batteries and the other solar switch. It just wasn't right. And found out that the fuses that go in my Lynx distributor do not fit an A&L standard Blue Sea fuse block, which is no big deal, but that means I got to remember to have two kinds of fuses when I'm on the road. But that's kind of all we accomplished yesterday. It was other small stuff. I'm still having problems with the locks. Especially this one. I'm probably gonna have to get a whole new mechanism, but I tried adjusting this handle. There was problems when I got it. In one of the past videos, I put in the thing, it worked fine for like a day. But I don't know what we're gonna do today, but we're gonna clean up a little bit. And I think I'm gonna work inside. It's supposed to stop raining and get up all that cleat material. Carry over from yesterday. But anyway, gonna be take it easy day. Hopefully my grandson and my son comes over today to help out a little bit and just do a few little things together. More later. So here we are back at redo day. Got the batteries out of my way, put my little stop in there, did this, started figuring out where the 12-volt system's going, and what am I going to do about all that, and of course all the lugs that I brought, I was fighting it, and so I went to the trusty Ace Hardware, and they had every lug imaginable. Wish I would have went there first. I was at the welding store where I got the wire, but they have a good assortment. But all this wall, I got everything I think I need. So back to redoing something. I'm going to redo those two lugs because those were 3/8 lugs on 5/16 studs, and the washer, yeah, everything would have worked probably, but I got them. I got the right ones and the right size heat shrink, and so more redo Sunday. But anyway, I am gonna eat some lunch back at it. More later. Good morning. Had a pretty good day yesterday working on the van, and waiting for my tool to come in on Amazon to do the ferrules so I can finish hooking up or re-hooking up. Check the AC out from the inverter there, AC in from my shore power, and the solar breaker in. Got the 12 volt at least powered up, and then I have to do the batteries. I'm going back to the same ace to get some more lugs because they got them all. Do a little bit of cleanup, and this I still have to figure that out. I need the right part number, that's for sure. Move the license plate up to there. I'm gonna try to do that while I'm back here. And let's go. Anyway, hopefully we'll get this done by the end of the week and have the solar system ready to go. I read a lot about it, and there's a lot of information on there that's doubled down and this and that. But like I said, I went to Inverters RS over there in Reno and got it, and every time I've talked to them, they set me straight. So when I get it all hooked up, I'm gonna call them, program my solar controller with the app, make sure the multi-plus compact is done correctly, make sure I charge and discharge those SOK batteries correctly, and then we're going to be off and running. But here, look right there. I sure like that Lynx distributor because it just does everything without bus bars. It's just way cool. The one thing they didn't tell me about was adding a fuse from the battery to the master switch. So that's another Blue Sea, and those, I think I mentioned this before, but those ANLs are different than the ones that go on the Lynx distributor, so I gotta make sure I get there. I'm still wondering if it needs to be a 300 or 250 or whatnot. Anyway, more later as I progress. Okay, so the furrow crimpers came in, and we're gonna give it a shot and see what it does. These were the lugs I used yesterday, 3/8 hole, 5/16, and I went to the Ace and found new ones. And today, I was able to find most of what I needed, except for these are 2-aught to quarter. I'll just drill them out for the 5/16 for the batteries. That's all they didn't have the right number. More heat to but let me I need that lug sometime in the future. Okay, so 6 is 1, 2, 3 up. 1, 2, 3 up. Turn the wire one way or another, it's got to get as tight as you can get it. Oh, ain't that a bummer. Oh, it does fit. You just gotta really pull them out. But on the 6, I guess you're gonna have to insert it first. Okay. Ooh, it's ratchety. Check it out. Okay, so then you gotta click it and open it. Whoa, check that out. That is pretty smooth. I ratcheted it one too many, maybe. Maybe I should have did one more, but whoa. Now I'm going to go in and see if it fits. Into the... I wonder if I'm going to learn how to edit this stuff. Probably not. I don't think I'm going to edit anything. Everybody's always worried about what it looks like. This is reality. Kind of screwy, kind of messed up. I don't know what... This was a reasonable pair, $20-odd. That's the screwdriver that a long time ago I shaved for something. It's coming in handy again. So you might not be able to see, but I'm going to just kind of jump in here and see if it fits in here. Magnet sucks. Let me see if it actually... Well, I'll be dang. It fits. That makes me very happy. Ta-da! 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 Wow. Okay, so that's gonna work. So now I'm gonna get everything prepped to try to finish this solar by Friday with all the programming I'm gonna need from Inverters R Us, or help from them I should say. And woohoo! Yep, more later. End of another day. Messed with the solar some more and had another few bright ideas, but didn't have to change too much. We're going to show you a little bit of what I finally got accomplished. So here we go with all the hookups. 8 running to my 110, 10 in for shore power. Number 1 watt ground, 1 size down from the 2 watt from the battery. Looking pretty good, I'm thinking. I decided to add, let's turn on the light here. There we go. Oh, look at that. I like that little light. This bus bar for all the negatives, so I ran the links distributor to the bus and then the 6 over to the solar controller, one down to the frame, and then another one over to the multiplus. I kind of like that. Found the A&L fuse, and I redid this with that flexible 8. And I had to butt connector these because I grabbed some wire and I thought it was a 12, but it was 10. And so I couldn't use the little crib connector things like I did in that J-box. But I added this because I know I'm going to want another plug somewhere, so this will be easy. I'll figure out how to get that easy connect here. And then I had a brainstorm that I needed a drawer to pull out, and there it is. At least the cutout. Storage below top. I don't know how deep I'm gonna make it, but all that's in there, and the frame's gonna want to come out in case I gotta redo some of this stuff and have the open room for it. But planning ahead on that maybe. So tomorrow I'm gonna figure out how to use my multimeter so I can test my solar panels. That's tonight's chore. Hook that up, put the batteries together, hook that up, and let it sit over the weekend till I call Inverters RS and see how to program. I might look into it a little bit, but I think I'm just gonna send them some pictures of all this stuff that I did. I mean, it looks good, and it's right from what all I've seen online, and you know, some of the top guys out there doing this stuff. But I've had to check by somebody? No. But my bright idea there, an upgrade I'll probably do in the future, but I just didn't really want to spend the money right now, is a combination 110 12 volt panel that'll go on the other side, inside, so I don't have to go through my little cubby hole here to mess around with the breakers. It just gets expensive to do all this stuff, so we will see how it develops here. But so hopefully tomorrow I'll have a ready to start working solar array, and then maybe I can get that fan going once. I want to get all that. I want to work inside again. Oops, there's another fix. Always something. Anyway, more later. Well, back again, and very close on the solar. Figured out how to on the multimeter. So we got everything right, but it was nice to double check. But here we go. Cleaned up the links distributor, got the solar, the MPPT in, got the solar cutoff switch in, which was a weird thing to read about, the double pole versus single. Got the batteries in. That was all the lugs. I want to figure out some kind of covers for the top of the battery post. There's got to be something going on there, but I think I finally got it. I am kind of happy with that. But anyway, and then I got bored with that last night. Oh, we gotta put that back on. I ran the wires down for the solar. And I got crazy and started gluing up my wood with where is that stuff? This stuff. I used the regular cure on these cleats, or ribs, or studs, or whatever you want to call them, and it worked great. And then this is the fast stuff. But yep. So hope I get better at filming. But that stuff is like amazing. I mean, we're gonna see over the years what it does, but I even scooped it in here to hold this so I could pull those screws and set my piece of trim along there. I still gotta figure all that out. I don't know if I did a good thing with the bed that way. It sure seemed like a good idea, but I don't know, 38. No, I like it. What do I got going on down here? Oh, more stuff to hook up the water system. And what else am I going to put down there? Who knows? But I'm pretty happy with everything so far. So now I'm hoping, I don't know what I'm going to do with this up here. It's a good area. I'm hoping my little EcoFlow AC unit fits here. I don't know why I want it there, but this is kind of what I'm thinking I do. Do it and just blow it out, and I think it'll cool this whole thing even from there. Maybe have some, I don't know where else to put it, to be perfectly honest. But anyway, gotta think about now putting the drawer in there, working on here. There's so much work. And I have an operation Monday for my foot. Yeah, these things don't budge. Let's get a hammer and see what we got going on here. See how tough it really is. I'll just break in the wood. I'm glad I got that fan. Anyway, I would almost say that if I had to do this again, I would have a better plan from the start. Instead of just figuring it out as I go. I mean, I bought that 3D van thing again, but it was detailed for spare stuff. I kind of think the drawers are going to go there. It's going to be my only drawers going to go there. I might put 2 or even 3. Let's see what's going on underneath here. I've forgotten what's going on underneath here. Ooh, I got a lot of room in there. Water heater. That's going to be probably for my drain, for my sink. That little, okay, the diesel heater. I'm going to put a little fuel tank from a go-kart or something underneath, just a gallon, that's what it is. And now, propane. Let me show you what I did. Back outside. Jumping off. This is what the deal is with the propane. I decided to go with little tanks. Bought one and used it in my little house to see how long it lasts. And they last a long time. the bigger ones, the 20-pound ones, are just huge. No place to put it. So I figured I'll just have 2 of these little ones. And I could probably figure out how to get it in here. Store the other one in the garage and just turn it off and on every time I use it and not worry about venting and the hoses. I mean, off. Turn it on and then have a alarm in there, of course, in case I forget, but I don't think I will. I'm conscientious about that stuff. I've been using one of those in my little house for 4 years, no problem. And heck yeah, I could almost get 2 of them in there. I got a lot of room in this underneath this sink, surprisingly enough. Anyway, we're off to other adventures. But anyway, cleanup time. I'll play around with this tomorrow, get some insulation up, maybe some more wood tomorrow, and see what else goes on. But anyway, more later.